Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another TradingView update. We're still closing in on the all-time highs. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum seeing some sideways action over the last 24 hours, but we're still trying to break higher. But still, yeah, as I said, not finding that strength yet to make that final move towards the all-time high. Now, we've been in a situation for the last few days where we hadn't this. Trade prices had been trading since June, had been trading below this resistance line. We broke through higher, and we've come back to test it once. On an even shorter time frame, there's been a kind of short-term support line building since the beginning of the month, and we can see how prices are finding support whenever they drop down intraday at this line. So we'd like to see the support hold. If we break it, especially this red line, to me is very important. If we drop below the red line, then I'm looking at an initial support level of around 54K as an area to top up additional holdings. From the upside, we're still looking at 62,500. We want to break through that kind of local ceiling that's been building since the 16th of October to allow us to address and push through the all-time high. Now, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is still showing extreme greed. And normally, when you have this sort of market sentiment, you should be a little bit wary of people getting overconfident, overcomplacent, going into leveraged longs because they feel that markets only go up. And that's something just to bear in mind, because I think the only real market state that you can have in order to push towards an area of price discovery, you need that confidence and that extreme greed to really allow people to jump into the market and push the price higher. So you could argue to an extent that the current sentiment levels are needed for us to push higher. Now, with a word on the funding rates and the leveraged longs, what's really interesting is that the Bitcoin funding rates, they've completely disappeared, right? So you're looking at, if we look here, what we had over the last 2 weeks, since the beginning of the month, exploded on the 8th of October, come back down. On the 17th of October, over the weekend, exploded higher again, but now they're completely flat. You can see the main exchanges back at 0.01%, which is healthy. This is good. It means that people are closing out leveraged longs. And if we do see a continued move higher, as long as these stay flat, then you can kind of work on the assumption that the rally is being driven by spot purchases, i.e. people physically going to the market to buy physical underlying. On Ethereum is trading a little bit more sideways, or showing a little bit more weakness than Bitcoin right now. It's struggling to maintain its levels that we started the week at, above 3,810. So we would like to see prices move higher and reclaim this level as an area of price consolidation before moving higher still. That said, to the downside, we're still seeing support at 3,680. Again, last night, prices wicked down, tested this area of support, and are now kind of starting to inch higher. To the upside, the kind of crucial area of resistance, it's the $3,900 area. But the thing to notice on ETH is that the funding rates are still somewhat elevated. And, I mean, as I said, not as bad as at the beginning of September, but there is definitely still leverage at play, and it's even starting to spike a little bit higher on some of the exchanges. You can see that here. Now, what this to me suggests is, because of the wider funding rates and the kind of trending lower or sideways trending prices, there is more of a chance of a shakeout taking place in the Ethereum market. That is to say, if we do see a move lower, that move could be exaggerated. And I see that being more likely in ETH at the moment rather than Bitcoin. That's it from us. Have a good day.